Howdy folks, it's RJ Helms here, and I am playing the Oregon Trail. After I did the Apple IIc in the Modern World video, I guess last week, in that video I showed off the Oregon Trail for a very brief period of time, and mentioned, hey, it might be fun to do a Let's Play of it, so here I am. So the Oregon Trail, if you are not familiar with it, is really kind of the landmark educational computer game. Made by MECC, which was a educational software company established by the state of Minnesota for the creation of educational software, and mostly for the Apple II, not exclusively. And it was been through a number of iterations in its lifetime. I believe it was originally written in 1971. I could be making that up, for a mainframe system that Minnesota had. And then in, I want to say 84, but I could be wrong, this version was produced for the Apple II, and it's still being sold in various incarnations today. It's absolute landmark of educational software. And in the game, you play a bunch of settlers who are leaving from Missouri to make their way out to Oregon to make a new life there, with all of the trials and tribulations of life on the Oregon Trail. So let's just get started. So the first choice you have is this is basically your difficulty selector. You can be a banker, a carpenter, or a farmer, and that determines your starting funds. The banker has $1,600, the farmer has $400, and the carpenter has $800. So let's go with the carpenter and play on medium difficulty. The game is really unforgiving when you are just a farmer. $400 is not enough to really prepare yourself for the trip. $800 is kind of exactly enough, so that's why we'll go for that. For the name of our wagon leader, you get to name the people in your group. I'm going to name them after the members of Devo. So we got Mark, Jerry, Alan, Bob 1, and Bob 2. Just keep up an 80s theme. And we go back to 1848, also known as loading the game. So you can choose when to start. Let's ask for some advice. You attend a public meeting held for folks with the California-Oregon fever. You're told, if you leave too early, there won't be any grass for your oxen to eat. If you leave too late, you may not get to Oregon before winter comes. If you leave at just the right time, there will be green grass, and the weather will still be cool. Well, just the right time sounds like pick something right in the middle. So let's choose May. And then you have to buy supplies, $800 in cash. Like I said, that's just enough to kind of generously appoint yourself. Just telling you the things you need, but then you get a list of the things you need, and it gives you advice on each one. So Matt recommends at least 3 yoke of oxen, so let's buy 4. Food, he's going to recommend 200 pounds a person for flour, sugar, bacon, and coffee. Yeah, that's all you really need to live. So that's going to be 1,000 pounds. Let's go for 1,200. Clothing, he's going to recommend 2 sets per person. So that would be 10. Let's get 12. Ammunition, he sells 20 bullets a box. Each box costs $20. Let's buy 60 boxes. I had to say crap ton of bullets, but I'm really bad at hunting, so that's important. And then spare parts. Wheels, axles, and tongues, and I think you can only buy 3 of each. Yeah, only buy 3 of each. So let's buy 3 of each. Brings my bill to $730, so I can hit the trail with $70 in cash, and almost enough stuff to make it. So I'm ready to go. Well then, you're ready to start. Good luck, you have a long and difficult journey ahead of you. Alright, loading the wagon, also loading the game. Come on, little disk drive, you can do it. Yeah. Every town you stop at has an awesome little speaker sound like that song. So let's set our pace and rations, because at a steady pace and filling rations, we'll barely make it to Oregon. So let's kick everything down to be a bit harder on ourselves. So a strenuous pace and meager rations. And if we look at the map, we can see where we need to go. So we are just at the start, of course. Have to go to the finish, up to Oregon, which shouldn't be too difficult, hopefully. Through the mountains. I think we're ready to get started. So I'm not sure exactly how many episodes this will take. I'll try to aim for about 20 minutes of each one. From what I recall, back in grade school, we could play this game in a class period or on a lunch break or something, so that makes me think it's going to take about 40 minutes. But I could be wrong. And here we are. Yeah, I already heard that song. Feel that nostalgia trip. And for now, I'm just going to let things go. That's fine. I've got plenty of food, so I can just keep on traveling down the trail. I don't need to worry too much about supplies until something happens. Once I get maybe through half my food, I'll start worrying about hunting and things like that. Let's look at these wonderful monochrome graphics. I really wonder about the choice of songs in this game. I didn't question it back in the day, but I mean, they're all American folk songs, obviously, but I don't know if they have any connection to the place that you are visiting when you hear them. Let's get some local flavor here. A stranger tells you, can't afford to take a ferry. We're making our wagon into a boat. We'll turn it over, caulk the bottom and sides with pitch, and use it to float across. Or float our goods across. Have to swim the animals. Hope it doesn't rain, the river's high enough. And that's exactly what I'm going to do too. When you have to cross a river, like here, you will have the choice to 646 feet across and 7.2 feet deep in the middle. You have the choice to ford the river, I just walk it, caulk the wagon and float it, take a ferry in some places, or wait to see if conditions improve. Obviously, fording it, there's no way you're going to ford a river that is taller than a person, or deeper than a person is tall. So we'll just caulk it. And this can end absolutely disastrously, but hopefully it doesn't. Get this little river crossing animation. And if I recall correctly, bad things happen to you right around here if they're going to, so I think we made it. You had no trouble floating the wagon across. I heard that song. So next is to the Blue River. What's happening to me? A thief came in the night and steals 58 pounds of food. That could be a lot worse. Good thing I brought 1,200 pounds of food. Bob 2 has a broken leg. Oh, that's fine, Bob 2. Yes, let's look at the Blue River crossing. I'm not sure if you can... No, there's people fording the river. That's a good sign. I'm not sure if you can see it, but when the disc loads, I'm getting a bit of flicker on my monitor. I'm not sure if that is just some sort of interference through the electrical supply, just like a voltage drop as the disc drive kicks in, or if it's actually interference that the Apple IIc is putting out, just the video circuitry and the disc circuitry interfering with each other. But kind of interesting. I never noticed that before. Let's talk to people, get the local flavor again. A party leader heading east tells you, we've had enough. Pesky flies all day and mosquitoes all night. It's either baking sun or oceans of mud and sometimes both. Worry over Indians attacking. Haven't seen any yet, but still a worry. I don't think there's anything that can actually happen in this game. I have no recollection of Indians attacking in any of my 400 billion places in this game when I was a kid. Okay, so now it is going to be the Blue River crossing. 250 feet across and 5.1 feet deep in the middle. Well, that looks like an easier crossing if I caulk the wagon than the Kansas River was, so let's just go for it. Come on, come on. Okay, and we made it. And yeah, there's some pretty cool, 6-color graphics in this game. It's the Apple II high-res graphics mode, but having it on a green screen monitor like this is how I remember it from back in the day. It's always a little different seeing it in actual color. And I mean, that's one thing that I find really cool with these old MACC games and kind of Apple II games in general, is they did a really good job. You pass a gravesite, would you like to look closer? Yes, this is going to be one that was actually just on the disk image that I downloaded and copied over. I've not played this game. Basically, when your wagon leader dies, you lose the game, and you get to make the grave, and then stored on the disk is the most recent, the gravesite of the most recent player to lose. So this is going to be one from whoever put the disk image online. Here lies Andy, pepperoni and cheese. I have no idea what that means. But as I was saying, it's pretty impressive that these graphics, kind of on all the MACC games, and Apple II games in general, look pretty good in the black and white mode, and also have the 6 colors to them and do a really great job of what you can do with 6 color graphics. Kind of how the Apple II does it is, I don't know how it works, but when you look at it on a black and white monitor, the colors are kind of dithered like you can see here, and every color is a different dither pattern, which somehow on a color monitor shows up as colors. But we're at Fort Kearney, let's look around. I'm curious how far we are along the way. Enjoy some more wonderful beaver music. Let's look at the map. I don't think we're very far at all. Nope. That is not far at all. Okay, so let's talk to people. Always good to kind of see what people say at each spot. That's what makes this game educational, right? A Fort soldier tells you, the trails from the jumping off places, Independence, St. Joseph, Council Bluffs, come together at Fort Kearney. This new fort was built by the U.S. Army to protect those bound for California and Oregon. Oh, hey, that's us. Thanks, U.S. Army. I appreciate it. $250 miles to Chimney Rock. So we'll just keep strolling on. Good weather. Our health is still fine, so there's nothing to worry about. We still got plenty of food. What could possibly go wrong on this trip to Oregon? Nothing. Didn't you already break your leg, Bob, too? Did you have 2 broken legs? Or did you heal your leg and break it again? Oh, I guess I can't see the detailed health of everybody. Oh well. Tough it out, Bob, too. Yeah, Chimney Rock. You are now at Chimney Rock. Would you like to look around? Hell yes, I would. Oh, okay. Yeah, see, I don't know what this music has to do with anything. Did people sing Auld Lang Syne at Chimney Rock? Is there another American folk song that uses the same melody? I mean, I'm sure there is. That's how folk music works. But the connections between the music and the places always felt a bit tenuous to me. Alonzo Delano tells you, about noon yesterday we came in sight of Chimney Rock looming up in the distance like a lofty tower of some town. We did not tire gazing on it. It was about 20 miles from us, and stayed in sight till we reached it today. Hey, me too. I reached it today too. See ya. Get the same song again, and we're on our way to Fort Laramie. Alright, so now I've got to flip the disc over. This is the moment of truth. I had some trouble with this earlier when I was trying to do a playthrough, because these discs are old and dodgy, but I copied the image over again and tried booting, and booting from disc 2, and disc 2 was able to boot and tell me I was on the wrong side. There we go. Perfect. Excellent. That's what I wanted to see happen. I don't think that means we're halfway, because obviously the whole program is on Disk 1. Disk 2 is just data. More great beaver music. I can't remember the name of that song. I recognize all these things, but I probably recognize most of them from the Oregon Trail. Okay, so let's talk to people. Our health is poor, so let's stop here as well. We don't want people to die too much on the Oregon Trail. A mountain man tells you, these greenhorns heading across the Rockies, hey, that's me, know nothing about surviving in the mountains. It gets awful cold up there, even in summer. Many a traveler crossing the mountains too late in the year has gotten snowbound and died. Okay, but it's May, so we should be fine. Let's look at our map. Yeah, we're almost in the mountains. Okay, so let's rest for a while. How many days would we like to rest? Let's say 5. Our health's fair. That's good enough. Okay, let's continue. Well, let's look at our supplies first. See how we're doing. 802 pounds of food, 12 sets of clothing, 1,200 bullets, still all our oxen, and still all our repair parts. We are in great shape to get into the mountains and die. Independence Rock. Okay, we are doing just fine. Thunderstorm, lose 1 day. That's fine. It's June. I've gone through almost half my food. I'm going to start trying to hunt when I get down. Oh, that doesn't sound good. Oh, you find an abandoned bullet with 20... You find an abandoned wagon with 21 bullets. That's very good. Yeah, so when I get down to 600 pounds, I'm going to start trying to hunt to maintain 600 pounds. Lose 1 day, which is good because I needed the day's rest. Find wild fruit. 20 pounds of fruit. That's a lot of wild fruit. Alan has measles. Okay, so we'll rest when we get to Independence Rock. Yes, let's go around at Independence Rock. And then we will continue from there and start hunting a whole bunch. I don't remember that song. Okay, so let's rest again. Let's try 4 days. No, our health is still poor, so let's try another 3 days. Okay, health is fair. That's perfect. Let's talk to some people. Big Louie tells you, goodbye Platte River, goodbye sands, hills, and white buffalo skulls. Now we climb the Sweetwater Valley to cross the Continental Divide at South Pass. Once across the Rockies, we'll make a steep descent into the Green River Valley. Awesome. Yeah, we're doing pretty good. Okay, let's continue along the trail. $102 miles to South Pass. Yeah, we are down to half our food we started with. I think we're about halfway. So that's fine, but just to be safe, let's do some hunting for food. I am terrible, full disclosure, at hunting on the Apple II version of this game. You've got to use your IOPK semicolon, comma, period, and slash as a D-pad, return key to run to start and stop walking, and space to fire. Later versions had this totally different. Like there was somewhere it was just kind of like a shooting gallery game. We just clicked on things with your mouse. And that is so much easier than what you have to do in this game. Oh, there is a thingy. Die! Die! There we go. Okay, that's all I needed to get. You can only bring back 200 pounds of food to your wagon, as you might recall. So that one animal, that one buffalo is going to weigh more than that. Yes, only 100 pounds back. I seem to recall it being 200. Oh well. From the animals you shot, you got 933 pounds of meat. However, you are only able to carry 100 pounds back to the wagon. That's cool. Now let's hunt one more time. If I have the same luck, I'll be in good shape. And the buffalo are great because they're slow. No wonder we killed them all. I seem to recall you can get a warning in this game too if you go crazy with the hunting, saying if you keep shooting the game here, it'll become scarce and go extinct, and that's cool. That's exactly what happened. Okay, 61 pounds of meat. That's fine. Because this game is educational. Yeah, so I'm just going to keep going. I'll probably put a break in here, wrap this episode up when we get to this next stop. Something's happening. You find an abandoned wagon, but it is empty. I don't want that to happen to me. You are now at South Pass. Would you like to look around? Sure. That's some great music. Okay, so let's talk to some people. A young girl tells you, "My father is very sick and we are resting here until he gets better. We've been pushing too hard and our health has suffered. When my father is able to travel again, we will go at a slower pace." Sucks to be you. We are going at a strenuous pace. Okay, so let's look at our map. See where we are. Let's do one more station on the way and then we'll shut this down. Okay, the trail divides here. You may go to the Green River crossing or head for Fort Bridger or see the map. Can you tell me which one's which? I was just looking at the map. Okay, so I assume the Green River crossing is the one that just goes northwards and Fort Bridger is south. I don't need to stop in a fort, so I'm going to go to the Green River crossing. 57 miles. Sounds good to me. Still plenty of food. Broken wagon wheel. Would you like to try to repair it? Sure. Good thing I had the parts. I actually don't know if that used a part. Okay, you are now at the Green River crossing. Would you like to look around? Sure would. Well, from that picture I can tell I probably want to cock my wagon. Never get tired of saying that. Alright, well, let's look at the map. No, we just looked at the map. Let's talk to people, see what we have to say. It is a rainy day. Health is still good. That's great. Or fair. Big Louie tells you, Big Louie, seen you before a bunch of times. $5 to ferry us over the Green River? Those ferrymen will make $100 before breakfast. We'll keep downriver until we find a place to ford our wagon and animals. What little money we have left, we'll keep. Yeah, can't blame me for thinking that. Anyways, I think this is about the halfway point of the game, so it's a perfectly logical place to put a break in the episode. This has been and will continue to be the Oregon Trail on the Apple IIc. I've been Archer Helms, so thanks so much for watching. Leave a comment if you have any thoughts or any feedback. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more, and I'll see you next time. Thanks so much.